Welcome back, everyone. I am Zadie, and this is Kerbal Space Program, and today, people, we are going to be successful in sending a person to and from the moon. Starting out, we're going to retrofit our rocket. We didn't get enough boost getting up into the upper atmosphere from our small solid rocket boosters. So we're going to mess around real quick and see if adding more of them is going to be a good thing, or what I actually decide to do is scratch those little itty-bitty things, and let's go with something a little bit bigger and more powerful, shall we? We've got these KW Rocketry solid rocket boosters that are really nice, and they are going to be way more helpful than those little itty-bitty ones that we were using before. These things are actually going to be able to, they're going to be enough to get us into the upper atmosphere quicker, and saving us thrust and fuel for the lower stage. So that's our new design right there for the Gigamut 11B, and this is going to be the Mark II. And yeah, so this is going to be our redesign on that, and I didn't put waste on there, waste collection yet. I did forget about that on this this first little part, so you have to forgive me for that. But yeah, let's watch this thing launch off and see what our improvements get us for updating our rocket. First off, before we get too big into it, while we're waiting on this thing to launch and everything, I just want to say thank you guys for your support and being understanding about this video coming out late. Of course, that does mean that since this came out late, you're going to get 2 Kerbal Space Programs this week. This one's going to release on Monday, the next one's going to release on Thursday. So you're going to get 2 Kerbal Space Programs this week. As you see, these solid rocket boosters, man, they get you up there quick. We won't even have to cut our main engine on for a little. Let's see how far up we get. We're still going way fast, over 700 meters per second at 15,000 meters, or 15 kilometers. So we get it to about 16, 17 before we have to even turn our engine on. That's a vast improvement. And of course, this is just us fast forwarding time, and you've all seen me get into orbit and go to the moon and stuff. So this is us doing our burn to get to the moon. But back to what I was saying. I digress. So yeah, so because of Irma and things being crazy at work and everything, I didn't, and actually getting the video edited and put together and then the file getting corrupted and me having to go back and re-edit it, it took a lot of time, and I apologize for that, and I appreciate you guys being understanding about all that stuff. So to thank you guys, you're going to get 2 Kerbal Redux Space Programs this week. This one will be released on Monday, and the next one will be released on Thursday. And that being said, please go check out my update video. I did get the promotion. I'm going to be having a lot more time to make and record videos and edit and do the audio recordings and stuff like that here in the near future, probably sometime mid-October. And I want you guys to go out there. There's a straw poll in the description of my update video that says breaking news. Go out there, vote on whether or not you want me to play any of those games that are on that list, or if the game that you want me to play is not on that list, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section of that video telling me what game you would like to see me play. I will tell you this right now, the 2 votes that I have gotten have been for more KSP. Going forward, after October, you will probably get 2 KSPs a week. It'll probably be Monday and Thursday. That's tentative right now, but I do want to do more Kerbal in the future. It's definitely my highest ranking video. Is also one of the games I love playing the most. So yeah, go out there, vote on that, and just know that you're probably going to get more KSP regardless. So yeah. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. So we got to the moon. We did the upper orbit of the moon and getting the science from that and everything. This is the problem with going to the moon with a pilot. The pilot cannot reset the experiments, and you're not going to get as much science. And this is us burning back in, making sure we're actually going to re-enter the first time we go back towards Kerbin, instead of doing 20,000 loops around the planet. See, I'm carefully putting that thing in there. Oh, and there goes the white line, and we're good. And this is us coming back into Kerbin, celebrating our first trip to and from the moon successfully. No Apollo 11 mistakes this time. The only mistake is that I, kind of got a little scared there. I fast forwarded too quickly with time warp, and now I'm like kind of in panic mode, going, holy shit, do I try and eject, or separate the command pod, or do I just play this out? What do I do? And you'll see me here. I'm detaching right now. I wanted to be very careful with this hitting spacebar. I didn't want to accidentally hit space twice and deploy the parachute and kill Jeb. So that's why I did it that way. But yeah, successful re-entry. We're gonna get a little bit of science from this. And this kind of triggered something in me. It gave me a brilliant idea. That is, if we send a scientist to the moon, he can get out and reset the experiments. And you'll see from this here in just a second. I'm going to do an EVA and get all that good little science too. We're only going to end up with about 40-something science from that whole trip. That's not a lot of science for going around the moon first time. You would expect to see more for that effort. But in this instance, we didn't get that much. I think it was like 46 total or something like that. We ended up with 70 science in total. So it's not a lot. So that got me thinking of how we can improve that. And the way we're going to do that is we added on this spacecraft not only the waste that we needed to store the waste, but we also added a probe body. And we're sending Bob into space. Now, by adding the probe body, that gives us the control that we need, or that we want, to fly this rocket. It's a little tricks. Put a probe body on there. It's an advanced probe body, so you can see we got all the options on there that we would if we had a better pilot. But instead of there being a pilot, it's a scientist. So now when Bob goes up into gets close to the moon and everything, he can take the readings, take all the science experiments, and then he can reset them, and that way we can get more science. It's an ingenious idea, and I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, or why I haven't done it sooner. I mean, you can kind of give it this little cheaty. You're putting a probe body on there, but hey, the game allows you to do it, and I'm not using MechJeb, and I'm actually controlling everything that's going on. And yeah, it works out perfectly. You get the best of both worlds. You get the control you want from a pilot, and you get the ability to reset the experiments with the scientist. It's a brilliant idea. I patted myself on the back so hard I broke my arm. I was so impressed with what I did. So we made sure we got our encounter within 20,000 meters or 20 kilometers, and that way we can get the upper again. Which if I remember right, I forgot to take the experiment out with Jeb, so I lost it. So that's why we also didn't have a lot of science that last go around. So that's why I'm redoing it with Bob. And now you'll see me. I'll take Bob out and I'll go over there and I'll take the science experiment out, and then I'll just reset it. And there's actually a new piece of equipment. I say new piece. It's probably been in there for a little bit. There's actually a piece of science equipment that you can put on your spacecraft where it'll actually automatically suck in all the science around it, and then you can just go and reset instead of having to pick the science up with the Kerbal knot and then resetting it. You can actually just have that right click on it. It'll suck all the science into it, and then you can get out and reset it. And that way, when you're getting ready to come back in, all you have to do is take your Kerbal knot, go over to that piece of equipment, and grab the science, all of the science from it, and then put them back in the pod, and then you can land with all the science. We don't have that yet. We will get that upgrade here soon. This mission alone is going to help us further our tech tree because we're going to get a lot of science from this, because we're able to get the upper and the lower influence of the moon and the science for that, which is going to be huge. It's going to be a huge, huge bit of science, and that's going to further our tech tree immensely. So, yeah, this is a great idea. So just for you guys out there watching this, when you're this early on in the show, especially if you're using the SETI tech tree like I am, where you got probe bodies before astronauts, which is the more realistic progression of technology, do this. Do this with your scientist and send them up there with a probe body. It's insanely brilliant. So Bob is probably going to be one of our main players here the next couple of missions while we're doing a flyby of the moon, and we're doing a flyby of Minimus, because we're going to do a flyby of Minimus too now, because this rocket is capable of going to Minimus, and get all the science from that. And then we should have enough to get the bigger rockets in order to carry a lander to the moon, and then do a more Apollo-style mission with that, docking with a lander in space, and then being able to take that and go to and land on the moon with a scientist like Bob and a probe body. That way, again, you get your control that you need, and then he can reset the experiments on the moon and take them all back up to capsule, and then we're going to come back with a crap ton of science. An absolute metric fuck ton. And I don't mean to curse too much, but I mean, it's exciting. I'm excited. This was a revelation to me, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And yeah, so I'm done patting myself on the back. Maybe, I don't know. Right here, we're getting our insertion back into Kerbin. We're setting everything up. We're leaving the moon. We're saying bye-bye to the moon, and making sure we're going to be able to come back into Kerbin completely again on the first try. We don't want to do more donuts circling around Kerbin. We want to actually, when we get back, we want to land on the damn thing and call it a day. So that's what I'm doing right now. So you can see I've got the thing set up. We're good to go. I had a maneuver node and everything. And then we're just going to burst out a little bit, go all the way out to about where Minimus is, and then come back in. And this is the re-entry. And I actually picked up all the science this time. I remembered to grab all the science and put it in the command pod. So we're not losing anything this time. We're actually going to get the full amount that you can get your first time going, doing a flyby by the moon and doing the upper, because there's two stages to it. I don't know if I explained that very well earlier. There's two stages. There's there's the upper gravitational influence, and there's the lower gravitational influence. And so it's called high above the moon and low above the moon, or something like that. And so yeah, this is going to be the full amount of that. And as you can see, we didn't fast forward too quickly this time, and we actually had a little fuel left over, which is a great sign. And yeah, here we come. We're coming back into Kerbin with all of that sweet, beautiful freaking science. We're actually landing on the day side too, so you can actually see. I need to try to land on the day side and launch on the day side a lot more. The video quality on the dark side is absolutely horrendous. It's terrible. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. You can't see it. I have to boost the gamma just so you guys can see. Here we come, landed down right now and complete. So Bob, on his maiden flight, has gone around the moon and come back safely. You can see here we can get a little bit of science here, surface samples and all that good stuff. That's you know, it adds up, but that's minuscule compared to what we just got. And we're going to plant our first flag. Bob is going to have the honor of planting the first flag on Kerbin. And there it is, that beautiful Georgia flag waving in the air. And it's going to say something truly profound as soon as I can find the words to describe this monumental experience. And it is Bob's first landing. And then down in the text, we're going to write, "Not everyone makes it their first time." And that's referring to, of course, Valentina, who on her first re-entry burnt up and crashed into the planet and died. Bless you, Valentina, for your sacrifice. You made it so that Bob could land. And trying to just get a little bit more science here, messing around there on the surface. So yeah, that was our first successful mission to the moon, or our second successful mission to the moon, and first for Bob. It was Bob's first mission, and that's awesome. It's nice to be able to get all this beautiful science from one go. Essentially, I mean, we did go twice, but had I known then, if it led to an epiphany. Anyways, you can see here we ended up with 246 science from that little expedition. 246. That's a lot of crap. That is a lot of science just from that little thing. And just imagine what we're going to bring back from Minimus. And this will just give you guys a good shot at Tech Tree, so if you're playing along, you can keep up with what I am doing. You go buying a couple things here and there, and I think that's the docking ports that we need for the lander. And then with the next mission, we're going to move on to getting the bigger rocket parts so that we can make a lander and land on the moon. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, appreciate a like, favorite, subscription, thumbs up, thumbs down, you know, all those good things. You can leave comments down in the comment section below. I would appreciate it. You guys, thank you again for all your support. We'll see you next time for more Redneck Space Program.